Good morning, everybody. We are just having a very, very quick conversation about AI and trading, some things hopefully that you will benefit from. Those of you with eagle eyes will see that I've put the TradingView Remix AI into the 100x Coin Club. So you can use that now for marking up charts. It's for marking up charts, right? You can connect it to an AI of your choice as well. It's really easy. You do it with an MCP. If any of those things mean absolutely nothing to you, open up Google, go to AI mode, right? And just repeat line for line what I've just said, and it will show you how to get it up together. All right. It's not going to show you how to trade. Okay. You can say to it, now you can say to it, draw me a diagonal line, and it can draw a diagonal line. The old MCP was janky as fuck, couldn't do any of that at all, right? So you've got far more control over TradingView now, but it's still slow, it's still sluggish, but it's getting better. And what we were just talking about, Maurizio, trying to get AI to be the sort of decipherer. Um, because if somebody gives you a report that is, what's the word, bi-directional, right? And it's rooted in pure probabilistic thinking with zero, this would be the action to take, that would be the action to take if this happened. It's just, this is the cycle, this is the thing, this is the thing. You come away from it and you're like, well, I don't really understand the actual practical action that I'm meant to take next. And then you can get stuck at that ledge of the next actual practical step to make. So sometimes I go back to the AI and just say, right, I'm stuck. This is the information. It's pretty high level. I don't really understand it. So the first thing is I need to understand it. And then I need to see what's the practical. But then the AI, if the AI say read all the 100x Coin Club transcripts, right? It could say something, but it wouldn't have your brain, Maurizio. And that can
That's what
be
I,
that
that's
that
yeah,
can be
that's
the
what
struggle when you get the course material and a human won't give you anything, and you don't have the AI. You can flap about for years, then you can get the AI and you can go down too many rabbit holes
mm,
because you
that's
suddenly think,
why
yeah,
I see what you mean, and just careful with what AI tells you. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that AI could take you into so many different directions. That's the main reason why I try to always provide you guys with my thinking, what I am thinking and why. Okay, you know what I mean? That's so important because you could put, like, let's say that I don't go into my thinking, right?
mhm.
Um, the AI could go through, you don't know what data they're looking at. You don't know if the AI is going to fucking look at RSI, to RSI, RIB,
Hmm.
BBB, and whatever indicator that the AI picks. Why? Because this is broad. So I just tell you what I'm looking at, why, and that's the whole sort of intricacy of my thinking, right? Can I be right? Can I be wrong? But that's how I'm making decisions, right? And what AI helps me a lot is in assess my decisions better. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
because that's basically something that has been really powerful for the last, I don't know, year.
Yeah.
Um, uh,
Have I got this the right way up? No, turn it
yeah,
round. That's what you need the
because
AI for.
or just to capture on the spot. I'm really big on that, right? Because something that I do is record myself trading, right? And next day you analyze what your thoughts were, how your emotions, your times, did you do it right? What was the outcome of that, right? Which, by the way, I think you're gonna like. I'm listening to a book, right, that a friend of mine recommend, and it's called Trading in Bets. No, Decision. Hold on, what is it? Let me hold on. I have it
Is
right
it
here.
called
I think
Thinking in Bets by Annie Duke?
Thinking in Bets. Yeah. Have you read it?
Mate, have I read
How,
it? She's a world champion poker player.
she's a World Cup poker
She,
player.
she's
This is
got
the
three,
first.
three, three
Yeah.
books out, right? That are that
Right.
are the best poker books ever written. They're just not called poker books. It's exactly how I have tried to understand what you say better by
Mm.
becoming more probabilistic in my thinking, and I could grab it off the shelf right now, Maurizio.
Yeah, it's interesting. Started listening to so much stuff that you can actually take away from that into markets. Not only markets, like your decision making overall, right? But markets, because you get a result out of every decision you make, right? Is, yeah, it's basically what we've been talking about here.
Well, it
Not
is, yeah,
because you
because she says if you make truth seeking and exactitude your shining light, then you are no longer concerned about outcomes.
exactly, and that's basically, if you yeah, and Scott always says we focus on the process. Doesn't matter the outcome. The process is always right, and the outcome is not. The outcome is a probability, right? So that's is freaking
Mhm.
interesting. I'm actually rethinking to actually go back to scalping, but it's yeah, and start using a lot of stuff that I used to use a lot. And uh let's see what happens. It's just obviously stacking on the brain. You have to spend a lot of times in looking at the charts. But I'm fine tuning a really interesting strategy right now for scouting. So based on that book. So yeah, if you haven't I if you haven't read it or listened to it, I don't read books. I just listen to it, and I'm halfway. I haven't finished, by the way, but so far it's been great, man. Very, very good book. Very, very good book.
Mhm. And then once you've finished a chapter, you can have a critical discussion about that chapter with the AI. That's another very beneficial
Oh
thing
man,
with it.
yeah, yeah. A lot of stuff that I use AI like that instead of outsourcing my thinking. Uh, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of things that I'm seeing in the markets that are really interesting in terms of, I think I
Because
talked about it. I talked about it before, and I think there is a possibility that as manual traders, because I'm a manual trader, I'm a discretionary trader, right? I think there is the opportunity to trade against the AIs. I think so at this stage, right? And I
yeah.
think there are ways to pinpoint what's real trade or real institutional money coming through, or just fucking bots running, right? So I think
Mhm.
what's the author? The author is called, oh, at the end, someone in the chat is asking, it is called
I haven't got the chat
Thinking
up at the moment.
Thinking Bets by
Thinking in
Annie
depth. And
Annie Duke.
yeah.
Yes. Really good. Really good. Really interesting. I think it's really interesting. So anyway,
Mm.
let's crack up. I noticed that you share your screen,
Yeah.
so go for it, man. Go for it. What do you have?
Okay. Well, it's the same stuff with me, and it's always simple stuff. On the monthly here on the left, we have these two pools of liquidity. And that's all I'm really interested in the moment is these two pools of liquidity on the monthly. You can
Mm,
see that we had, I'm going to get a little bit bigger. We had that monthly close and we held that line. Okay. Now the question is, what is going to happen this month? Okay.
hmm
And that's as much as I need to get absorbed into the monthly chart at the moment because let's see that 58. So this is sort of 58 to what 62. So it's just, well, it's basically where price is now, isn't it? You know, but let me just make this weekly one a bit bigger. So I mean, I'm just still seeing weakness, and just I've called it a summer range, you know, and summer in England. You know, we had the we had a lower high print. You know, we closing below higher levels. You know, we are below what I have called uh, the pivot point. and that's sort of 62, which ties in with that monthly box. So to me, I just see bearish at the moment. I could pop on the volume, I could pop on the 200 SMA to show that we are like a little bit below it. But just generally speaking, I don't see a bullish case at the moment.
Mm. Okay, interesting, interesting. I have something really cool to really, really interesting to show you. Or to show you guys, right? Because uh on Friday something interesting happened, and this is the greatest example. I say, fuck man, this is great. I didn't trade it for a particular reason, but this is the greatest example. I think today, this is the best example recorded in history that I can show you the mechanism between perps, volume, or
Hmm.
the open interest, and
Hmm.
CBD interacting to each other. Fucking
Wow.
it, man. I saw it
All
on
right.
Friday night. I say, fuck, this is great. And let me get into it. Because we've been talking about that's
Yeah.
the two mechanisms that drive the market, right? And yeah, let me go into it because I think that doesn't happen very often, man. I saw it so fucking clearly. Hold on. This is not this what where is my hold on. Okay. First of all, let's go into the charts, right? So charts is one thing, right? In terms of where we are in Bitcoin, right? Yeah, it's been very, very fucking weak. And we talked about weakness last week, in terms of buyers at this level. So again, we have to ask ourselves who's driving the market? Always, always, perps or spot, right? There's two mechanisms, and let me just show you what happened on Friday because that was so fucking clear, man. I couldn't even believe it. All right, check this out. This is Friday price action, right? And this is kind of Friday night, give or take. This is the Asian session. Forget about this area here. I was at night on my Asian session, so can I put a freaking? Can I hide it? Let me just hide it because I think this is what I was looking at on Friday. Let me hide this price action so it doesn't, because obviously once it happened already, oh yeah, that would work like this, yada yada, whatever. Uh, but let me hide it, okay? And imagine yourselves the background. Let me put it back. Ah, right. All right, I just hide it. It doesn't allow me to hide it. All right, let me just hide it like this. All right. Do you see? Imagine that you're sitting on Friday like me, right? Watching this price action. Okay.
Hmm.
What do you guys see right here? We have open interest here, and we have CBD volume coming through, right? And also we have price action doing this behavior. Maybe just go a little bit like this,
So
like that.
prices
Okay, so
moving sidewards after something of a downturn, but
yeah,
everything else is facing up.
but everything else facing up towards like, yeah, is this, well, yeah, it's facing up in which way? So if you're gonna make a decision there, are you going long or going short? What would your reaction be? Of course, we saw already the market, but let's imagine that you didn't see the future. What your reaction will look like? And I wanna like let's say that you wanna make a decision right there, right? And what do you guys think? Do you guys go long or do you guys go short? Obviously, I'm looking at the markets in 30 minutes by looking at the history, just trying to gather what's going on in the small time frame, so we can actually get good position. So James says short. Please tell me why, and Ian, what would you do?
Well, I'm not sure and I can't define it, Maurizio. So,
I know. All right. Cool, cool, cool. But that's good. That's an answer. That's your decision. I cannot
Mm.
that you know what I mean? So that's great. Uh all right. Kim, Jim, long, James, short. James, can I please ask you why short? And Kim and Jim, just give me one sentence. Why do you guys think long? Because I think what I'm gonna show you, I think it is what I've been talking about all this time about open interest and CBD.
so
If I had to choose between short and long, go long. But why? Give me
so the
50,000 reasons why.
yeah. So the open interest is leveraged bets, and the CVD is people buying the underlying asset. So your bias tends to be to the CVD because it's real people doing real things. But we can't get direction from these. We can only get like emphasis that there is pressure in the system and that pressure is looking to escape from the system. And that's why I can't tell you if it's long or short.
Sweet. All right. Let's go back to basics, okay? This is fucking important, guys. All right. Open interest. The definition of open interest is the amount of contracts being open at a given time. You don't know that is long or you don't know that is short. Period. All right. It's just the amount of contracts. So if you're looking at open interest increasing, what that means is that a lot of contracts are being open at that stage. Okay. Now, what you could do is trying to figure out if are longs opening or shorts opening. Okay,
Mhm.
period. There are different ways to sort of. This is not an exact science. This is what I was saying last time. This is about reading. It's about how you interpret the charts. It's like interpreting as abstract art. I'll give you a dot on the wall, and an art expert will say, "Oh, this is Monet, whatever, blah 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 blah," and another guy can say, "Fucking dot in the ball." You know what I mean? So this is an interpretation, right? And this is my interpretation, and this is how I see it. But this is the greatest example of what was happening on Friday. Okay, usually when open interest rises and market goes down, then you could probably say that shorts are being opened. Why? Because obviously market is going down, open interest is going up. Therefore, uh, you know what I mean? There's a higher volume in the short side, right? That allows the market to move down, right? So the more shorts, so for instance, right here, you start seeing open interest going up, market goes down, so shorts are going down. The market is going down, all right? So now you have CVD, the other part of the market, which is the spot volume, the liquidity, the ETFs, like the ones that actually buy and hold for a long time, or not long time, I don't even know. That's just an assumption, right? Then this is an easier read in a way because cumulative spot volume delta is the difference between buyers and sellers, right? So if we do have if we have the CVD going up, right, the cumulative, right, that means is there are a lot of buyers buying the spot side of things, the coin itself, the BTC, right? This is a different type of trading than the ones that actually do this. Okay, so with that being said, on here, right, in at exact 16 hours, right, you can actually see that this is going down and CVD starts going down as well, right? So definitely that looks like a short for me, period. I've been saying this is a great example of how you can show the market on small time frames to scalping, yada, yada, yada. Influx of, this is a great strategy, by the way, if you actually apply CVD going down, open interest going up and market going down, you could actually bet that in the next half an hour, market could go down, right? That's a probabilistic trade. Now, the interesting thing is what started to happen later, right? you start seeing a lot of CBD volume coming through, right? This is volume. I'm talking about volume, buying, and open interest, increasing, but the market doesn't move. The market is not moving. The market is on this freaking range. This is what I call a really huge pressure cooker, right? Why do you think that might be the case? CBD going up, this thing going down, and market is not moving, it's not reacting. Yeah, Todd says spoiled buying, no leverage.
I see.
Anyone
I see.
else?
What? Oh, I was going to bring in the liquidations. I don't know if that's anything to do with it.
No,
No.
not yet. Because liquidations, we have a little bit of liquidations here, but it is, market doesn't move. And this is a significant amount of open interest, and this is a significant amount
Mm.
of CBD volume happening, right? So think about it from the perspective. If you have a lot of CBD coming through, right? Chris says retail selling, ETF buying, okay? Maybe you don't know well, define what's retail. I can say ETF buying, perhaps. This could be retail as well, by the way, right? But then obviously spot retail, and I don't know. But you're right. That's exactly right. So you see a lot of CBD volume coming through. Could be retail, could be ETFs, could be liquid, could be banks, could be Sailor, could be anyone buying. But what I mean is they're buying the underlying asset, right? And you can see that a lot of open interest is going and the market doesn't move. What that means is more than likely these ones are shorts. So people shorting, right? CBD buying, right? Market fucking fighting. This is the biggest example of a bulls and bear reaction. Okay.
Mhm.
So at any moment, anyone is going to win, bears or bulls, period. Right? If the shorts are winning, this thing is going to crash. If these ones win, all the shorts are going to get liquidated. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a beautiful example, man, because I was seeing this happening, right? Bang, look at this. Keep going up, right? Now you see this candle here, market went down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I can't, this is, how do I hide this thing? No, I can't. Can I move this down? Yeah. All right. This is still going up, right? And this is still giving up. So a good short would have looked like that if I see the CBD volume came down, that wouldn't be a great short. But you have to be watching the screen because you don't know if that's going to happen. Okay? But this is the biggest representation of how the interaction of CBD and open interest will look like. What happened next, right? Let's have a look. Now we'll see the future. Okay? But look at this shit, man. Bam, 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 bam. At this point, right? CBD
Mm-hmm.
can going through. Now you start seeing the liquidations coming through, right? So a good trade would look like probably here. That would be a great scalp, right? Around here towards the long side. How long that's going to last, who knows? But that's basically this is a great price action that happened on Friday. That is the greatest sort of example of what I'm of the way that I read open interest versus CBD. Do you guys see it here exactly? So let me just remove this. So I think what's the big best, right? So yeah, that's it. This doesn't happen often in a way, by the way. So now how can we use this information, right? Now you start seeing all these shorts starting piling up right here, right? Around here, around
Mm-hmm.
here, around here, around here, around here. And then all shorts start to sort of either getting liquidated here, right? So what I mean, this is now becomes a really important level, right? That I'll say that CBD is respecting. There are buyers at 62. I did talk about it in Friday that my next level was going to be around 62 area. I cannot be exact which level it is, but I think this I could see that there are a lot of buyers at 62,000. You know what I mean? It hasn't actually dropped from that level. So how can we make use of that information now, to make decisions? So I think the fact that CBD is getting really heavy here, I could see that now, uh, perhaps market is going to haunt all the shorts piling up, right? And if we do that, then market is going to start going up and up and up and up. Until when? Who the fuck knows? But no, I do have an idea, right? Until when? I think 65 will be again our next target again to test, right? But that's basically what I'm seeing. That pressure cooker building, right? Like a lot of buys. But bear in mind that we do have a lot of shorts being open, right? But the fact is that we are seeing sustainability of CBD volume coming through at these levels. So yeah, man. I think
Fascinating.
you know what I mean. This is this
Mm,
is this is. I think it was a great example, man. I would have.
crystal clear.
You know what I mean. I don't know if you guys have any questions because I think this is the greatest way that you can see what the market could do in the future. This is not lagging. What is the other word? Oh shit. Leading. This is the leading indicator. Anything else, averages, volume, all this sort of stuff. It's just things that happen after the market priced in, right? So yeah, great. Take a screenshot, man. This is very, very interesting. And obviously, you cannot kind of, that's why I see the 30 minutes. So the 30 minutes, yeah, you can use 30 minutes for scalping, of course, but I'd like to see the price action on small time frames to see how it behave exactly. Because if you have a look on the 4 hours, you will not be able to see this. You know what I mean? It's
Mm,
very hard. The 4 hours is the compounding um, math of all this stuff, but you don't see it. You don't see what's going on. What's the liquidations here? You know what I mean? What are the levels I'm trying to buy? What are the intricacies of it? So yeah, I think this is great, man. I think I was very excited to. I didn't trade it because first of all, this could have lasted, who knows? And it was Friday getting ready for New Year session. So if I decide to trade on New Year session, I would have stay up all night. So this is but now I'm seeing an interesting picture here. I'm seeing volume coming through. Let's see now if we see any reaction on IBIT, right? Because IBIT is an indication of inflows of ETFs, right? Still not convinced because that could be, like I'd say, yeah, Chris mentioned retail selling, ETF buying. ETF, I don't know if they are ETFs buying or I don't know until I see a little bit more reaction on IBIT. Then that will be a little bit of a better confirmation that it's definitely ETFs. And that's the thing that I want to get into it, right? Like when ETFs is actually flowing. Uh, but someone, who knows who, they're driving the market. This is the intricacy of it, right? If we see a massive dump, then I think I'm going to show the market, right? Because
mm,
whoever is driving this thing, right? If they don't sell, we're fine. But the fact that we have a lot of shorts piling up, and if someone actually drops this, then that would be a shorting sort of opportunity. You know what I mean saying? Because now I can see all the shorts that are being piled up. So that's my decision right now. So far, I'm going with long because I'm not seeing any evidence of selling. But if I see a huge dump on CBD, yeah, I bet you, yeah, that would be a really good short. So is that gonna happen while I'm in the screen? Who knows? Hopefully. But this is I think it's a great opportunity to be aware of, right? So I'm not saying that you need to go long now or you're short now. So far, looks like a really long opportunity, but you have to be aware of the risk. What's the risk? The probabilities of this happening, we don't know yet, right? This could have continuation, and we can start triggering, those short squeezes, and that's going to juice up a lot of the market right now. So interesting. This is
It's
just
very
price
interesting.
action. Yeah.
You half answered a question that I was thinking, and it was to do with higher time frames. Like,
Hmm.
does this lose its edge, or is it just something different, or is it this obvious on a higher time frame? Oh, look, we're probably in a bear market. Look at these two things.
Yeah. Higher time frames, you lose all this history. You lose
Right.
all this analysis. You lose it. Because obviously, um, on let me prove that to you. Let's see that this is the same thing in 4 hours, right?
Hmm.
Hold on, it's not loading. Come on.
Because you had 6 hours before, 6 hours and 30.
Yes,
Mm.
the reason why I have 4 hours here is because Velo data doesn't give me the 6. Ah, it does. Never mind. Sorry. Yep. Okay. Let's do 6 hours, right? And let's go this. All right, and
It's not as, it's just not as stark, is it? You don't look at it. I mean, you can,
now
but it's a single candle, isn't it? Yeah.
exactly. This is the compounding thing of what's going on the whole session, right? Give it or take, right? 6 hours. But yeah, you can see some shorts lining up here, but you could see it, but you don't see the intricacies of that happening. You know what I mean? I honestly, I don't have a good read of 6 hours on CBD, and
Hmm.
especially open interest, right? Um, that's why I opened the 30 minutes to give me a little bit more perspective, right? It's not the same that if you have a one candle, like this candle, let's talk about just one candle, this big one here, okay?
Hmm.
This one could have been that in 1 second you get this week and one week down up, or it could be a grinding down, or it could be that at the last minute this thing came down. That's a massive difference in terms of how you read the market. You know what I mean? Why? Because it could be just one seller selling and then it came back. It could be a liquidation. It could be so many things that you don't see inside this candle. That's why I keep it as a perspective, but I like to read it on. Oh, by the way, if you read it in 1 minute or 3 minutes and 5 minutes from this perspective, I think you'll get a much more insight. But that's basically just for scalping only, right?
Hmm.
But I like the 30 minutes. I think 30 minutes you're still able to see what's going on as a whole, right? And you could actually get positioned really well still. So, so yeah, yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. So we got 9 minutes left.
Already, shit. All right, 9 minutes left. Sorry. So I hope, guys, that was a great sort of yeah. So in terms of markets, so yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see, but now I'm a little bit more biased towards the upside. Where at the level that I want to break again, the $65,000 level, you can either, you know, uh, try to do a trade right here based on what I said. Still, because we're still positioned on some trades, I don't want to add more risk to it, but it looks good towards the upside, right? Ethereum, same deal. It's cooking. You know what I mean? There's no sellers, there's no buyers. This is a pressure cooker waiting to happen, man. Solana, it is a little bit weaker, right? And BNB, it is a little bit weaker as well. So in terms of markets, obviously I'm waiting for IB to give me a little bit more directionality to add more risk. S&P 500 still looks pretty fucking good, uh, believe it or not. You know, I don't know if you remember. these lines we draw it like, because you don't know when things are going to stop. And S&P 500 keeps driving. And I told you guys like 2 weeks ago, S&P 500 looks pretty good because a lot of the AI stuff is driving the stuff. A lot of the technology stuff that happening is going to keep fueling this. I don't see this coming down unless we do have another war or another significant thing happening with the conflict or whatever, right? But so far, markets look sustained from that perspective. So I'm still bullish. From the trades, uh, yeah, Jim, there we go. Yeah, so just be aware. Just it's very hard to when you're in a pressure cooker kind of situation. It's very hard not to be biased. You know what I mean? Like if you don't have any positions, it's very easy to be non-biased. But because we do and we have, so we always tend to be biased towards what we hold. That's my experience, right? So that's the trick of fucking pressure cooker because I'm biased. I'm biased towards the upside. I have positions. We have WorldCoin, we have Lit, we have Hype. You know what I mean? Like so that's my bias. Which by the way, WorldCoin working great on a second trade. So this one it keeps making money, and this one, please move the stop loss. I think moving the stop loss is and our trade on Hype is not doing that great. Well, it's still profit, of course. I wanted to see a little bit more, but it's a lot of shorts piling up right now. So this is what I'm watching. So if the pressure cookies breaks to the outside, I think I'm looking at Ondo again, right? After what happened with the company, I'm looking at Virtual. I told you guys why I'm looking at Virtual. I'm looking at Link. Um, Link. Uh, so I'm looking at ENA. I'm looking at all Ethereum based betas based on the spaghetti charts from June, right? I'm watching it from June, the performance of all the majors from June, and Ethereum it keeps making its way up. So in terms of betas, obviously ETHFI is winning. Uni, ETW, yeah, don't worry about ETW. I'm watching it. I'm watching really good. That's why ENA is in my watch list. Uni, I still don't know. Let me show you why Uni. I don't. So Uni, the main volume that drove Uni was Pons, right? Pons is the Robinhood equivalent of the pump dot farm, whatever. And this one is dry. So therefore, Uni, I don't see it yet, but they're still on the watch list, right? So that's basically what I'm seeing at the moment, guys. I don't have anything else, but market could get really interesting when that pressure cookie uh, just blows up. So we still have 5 minutes. I don't know if you guys have any questions, but that's basically what I'm watching.
Well, that was tremendous. A really clear example.
Yeah, I
And
think is one of the man. I was watching that, and it's like, that's why watching the markets for me is interesting. Trying to read instead of read. I don't read
yeah.
books. I read the markets. I listen to books and I read the markets. Interesting. Anyway,
Mm.
so would you
Yeah,
call
good
that
man. Good.
BTC
I
chart?
smoke bongs and then I can't see nothing. Is that a candle or
Todd has, would you call that BTC chart range bound? Let's have a look. Define range bound, please.
ah, you thought you could get away with it, Todd?
Man, yeah, I know, man. Like, define for me, what's range bound? What's your range? What's the range that you're looking at? Are you looking at daily range, hourly range, minute range, 3 minute range, monthly range?
Beamer, Benz, or Bentley? Which is it, Todd?
30 minutes. See, this is what I mean, man. 30 minutes in the last 2 days. That's fucking very specific. This is
Yeah,
great. You know what I mean? Like, but if I tell you, Ian, look at Rage Bound for Ian, maybe like, uh, you
weekly.
know, exactly. So let's go. Let's have a look. Rage Bound. 30 minutes, the last 2 days. The last 2 days. Bam, 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 bam. This is the 15 minutes. Okay. Last 2 days, starting from Friday. All right. So let's draw some lines, right? So if the range bound, you're looking at the 30 minutes, right? This is what I will look at. That's my range. And obviously it's not really a range, but if I look at the range in the last 2 days, it's hard to say this one or this one or this one. You know what I mean? That's what I'm not pinpoint exactly which range I'll be looking at. Perhaps this one, right? That will be the closest thing of a range that I could see. And that lines up with the CBD that I'm watching. So I think this is the bottom of the range. It could be. This is a clear deviation. I'm looking at 30 minutes, guys, by the way. I'm not like, if you take this trade, this is a 30-minute trade. So I'm looking at deviation. Maybe this could just, this is a great example of scalping. Bang, that will be your scalp man right there, right? Take it, take half right here. If you're wrong here, or probably you could be wrong here. And that could be an interesting range trade. Take some here, move the stop loss, and if this has continuation towards the upside, then that's your scalp that turns into a winner trade. Or take everything off here. You have one-to-one risk reward. So from this perspective, so that's how I scalp, by the way. But it is
Nice.
interesting. So yeah, cool,
A
cool
little trade.
question. Thank you, Todd. Thank you for that question,
Yeah.
man. Okay.
Great stuff. Thank you, Maurizio. Anybody that's YFM, see you for the continuation of the back testing module and see you in the group, everybody. Ta-da.
All right, guys. Have a good day. Bye bye.